Hi, this is Jessica Miller from Bingham Middle School. I'm the eighth grade counselor this year at Bingham, and we're sharing a middle school lesson about taking care of yourself during this stressful time. The first thing I want to share with you is resources for you about reaching out if you're needing help, and this can be used for you or your brothers and sisters or your parents. There's a crisis text line, and if you click on the link in this PowerPoint, you can go directly to their website. You can also text them and you can talk with someone there. There's a suicide prevention lifeline and you can chat online or you can call the number there. And the website also has extra resources. And then there's the domestic violence hotline and you can call that, and that is a Kansas City number. If there is an emergency and you're worried about someone, you can always call 911. The first thing we're going to talk about during this time is gratitude. I've had students reaching out to me and saying they are feeling like they're being stuck at home, like there's not a lot going on and kind of having a hard time feeling as joyful or as thankful as they normally feel. And so that's why we decided to start with gratitude. So the first thing I want to talk about is that feeling grateful and feeling happy go together. If you feel grateful, it doesn't mean that you will be happy, but like I said, those two things often go together. So if you're expressing gratitude, you might also find yourself feeling happier even in stressful situations. One thing I've talked about with several students, and I'm sure your counselors talked about this with you as well. If you've gone in to see your counselors, that people use gratitude journals and they write something every day. They might write something as simple as 3 things that they're happy for. And I wanted to give you guys something a little more specific to work on. So this week we're going to be using a daily gratitude question. And on Sunday, we're going to do a weekly review of our gratitude entries from the whole week. You'll need a journal, a notebook, or a piece of paper. If you have a journal you write in on a regular basis, you could just add this in there, or you could put it in a school notebook or simply just a piece of paper from each day if you'd like. You also need a writing utensil. If you're creative and you want to bring in coloring pencils or you want to bring in crayons or paint or collage materials, you can do that as well. And then you need a place to work, somewhere you can focus, a surface you can write on. So the first thing we're going to do is look at kind of how this process will go. So each day you're going to write down the prompt. You don't have to write it down word for word, but just maybe giving yourself an idea of what the prompt is. And then you're going to take a few minutes after writing the prompt to think about your answer. You can draw, you can write, you can paint, create the answer in any way that's comfortable to you. For example, I put the collage one here. You could do that as well. Or that's something you could do on Sunday if you would like to as well. So Monday, you guys are going to write a gratitude ritual you do now. And there's some examples on here. So something that you do now that helps you kind of think about and remember what you're thankful for. If you don't have one already, this might be a time for you to think of something. And I'd like you to practice that gratitude ritual every day of the week through Sunday, and then we'll reflect on that. On Tuesday, you're going to write down an everyday bright spot that you've recently noticed that you used to take for granted. Wednesday, you're going to name someone you're grateful to have in your life and why you're grateful they're there. And then Thursday, you're going to describe something that happened in the past that you didn't feel grateful for at the time, but you now think of that time with gratitude. Friday, you're going to describe a moment when you felt gratitude immediately in the moment. So it's something you immediately felt grateful for. And then I also want you to think about what other emotions you might have been feeling during that time. And finally, Saturday is our last day of daily prompts. And that's a day you're going to describe a way you thank someone or a way you intend to thank someone for something they've done. Finally, to end it out on Sunday, you're going to take a day for reflection. So you're going to read back over your entries from the week. You're going to take a few minutes to write down what you've learned about yourself and your life during this week of gratitude. And then ideally, the middle school counselors would like you to take one lesson away from this. What is one way that you're going to show that you're grateful that maybe you weren't doing before? Whether it be writing down something you've been grateful for on Sunday, every Sunday you take a few minutes, or you repeat this every single week. Or maybe you think, I want to show people I'm thankful, and you write cards to people and mail them during this time when you can't see people you love as regularly as you're used to. If you have any questions, always feel free to email your counselor. We're thinking of you and we're here if you need us.